Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Five of Cups. I feel like you're somebody who is generally very optimistic, you know. I think Capricorn sometimes gets a bad rap or a bad stereotype of being a little bit of a humbug or a little bit of a curmudgeon, you know. But I feel like you're very excited. I feel like you're very cheerful usually. And I feel like right now you're in this energy of really trying to stabilize some emotional energy in your life. Okay? Anytime we get a 5, I feel like, okay, this is some turmoil that's going on. This is a lot of activity needs to settle down. Okay? Now the 5 of Cups isn't always sadness or sorrow or bad things happening. What it is to me, it's the disappointment of the party ending, right? To me, it's kind of like that feeling where it's the next morning and it's like you're telling everybody they have to leave and you're cleaning up everything, all the cake plates and stuff like that. It's just that, it's a little bit of that sadness the next day, you know, that it's over. But it's the disappointment of, you know, the party ending, right? And so I feel like this is kind of something big has happened in your life. And I feel like this is you kind of getting back to a stable routine, getting back to the cleaning up after the party, okay? We need some more cards to see kind of what's going on with this. But I feel like you're making that shift between that kind of a celebration of some kind to now it's kind of like, y'all got to leave. I got to get to work. You know, I've got to get a shower, get dressed, and I got to go work. So let's see what else is going on here. Let's put that card into some context. Hanged Man. Interesting. It could have been one heck of a party with the Hanged Man here. I feel like I kind of feel like the Hanged Man is I think it's kind of it's your way of saying, look, I'm taking time for me now. Okay, I feel like it's a lot of water right here in the middle. Okay, and I think that it's kind of something that you have done for other people. Maybe you've thrown a party for somebody else. Maybe you had to orchestrate something for somebody else's achievements. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you, it could be that you were taking care of somebody. Maybe you were staying with somebody to help them, or you were helping somebody do something for their life. I feel like this is kind of, there's a big shift in your life now. I feel like that thing that you were doing is now, you're finding a way to say, I've got to go do my own thing now, you know? That if maybe you were living with somebody, maybe somebody was living with you, but I feel like now it's kind of that time where you're shifting back into that selfish kind of energy, you know? And I say selfish, you know, intentionally, because it's one now where your focus is on self and what you need to do. Okay, between this water and between the 5 of Cups and the Hanged Man, I feel like you've been very emotionally supportive of somebody else. And it could have been a big party, it could have been a really good time. It could have been supportive in that very positive way. Very often we think of being supportive for someone, we think, Well, they're there for me when I'm in my time of need, or I'm there for them when they're in their time of need, right? But are you there for them, or are they there for you in that time of celebration too, right? And I don't know which one this is yet, but I know that you're supportive of somebody else, that you are there for them, I think both when they're very low and they need support, or when they're really, really high and they want somebody to celebrate their win with. Yeah. Either way, this comes out of the wash. It's time for you to, I think, pull some of that energy back. Okay? You've been very emotionally supportive of somebody else for a while. Now we're going to keep going with some more cards here. The Ace of Swords underneath. Yes, I think this is probably why Capricorn gets that reputation of being a bit of a humbug or a curmudgeon, because you're kind of like, okay, the party ended at 9, everybody get out, right? You don't beat around the bush, you don't mince your words, you don't tiptoe around it. The Ace of Swords, you're very direct. You're saying, it's 9 o'clock, you all have to leave, I love you, but get the F out of my house, right? And it's because you're very to the point, right? Very to the point. And it's very practical for you. You don't mean any harm. You're not trying to be insensitive. And how can anyone accuse you of being insensitive when you just went through this entire thing for somebody else, supporting somebody else, doing all of this for, it could be one other person, it could be for an entire group of people, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter which way the hangman's facing, right? But the Ace of Swords, yeah, you're very to the point, you're very blunt. And I think that's why people love you. I think that's why some people are just a little bit unsure about you sometimes, or think that you prefer to be alone, or that you're kind of a bit of that curmudgeon, But it's not like that at all. It's just that you don't have you got things to do, You have not a lot of room for wasted energy. Okay? And this water energy, this 5 of Cups and this Hangman, that's not wasted energy. And that's the part of the message, upside down. That's part of the message of the Hanged Man, is that what you've been involved with has not been a waste of time. Maybe you were not focused on self. Maybe you were there supporting somebody else, either in their time of need or in their time of triumph. But that was very important for you as well. There's an inner growth that happens with that. There's something spiritually going on with that. It wasn't a waste of time. But now it's time for you to, I think, shift out of that. Okay? We're going to keep going. Empress energy. The Empress energy right away makes me think of a maternal energy, right? We've got Mother Earth. We've got somebody here who is feeding somebody from their own life force, right? And we see is that a pelican there, right? Who feeds I guess maybe mythically, feeds its young from the blood of its own breast, right? From its own vital energy. And I kind of feel like that was this past thing for you. This is in the position of the past. Okay? So it could be that you were really kind of, you were in a mode where you were supporting somebody else from your own vitality. There was a lot of, I think, emotional energy that was being devoted to someone else, right? In order to help them, to heal them, to feed them, to motivate them, to whatever, to care for them. And I think the Ace of Swords is here saying now, and with the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man can swim either way, right? With the Hanged Man, it's saying, okay, it's kind of time that I have to go on now, right? So with the Empress here, it almost feels as if you were, somebody was sick or injured or something maybe, or they were ill, and you were taking care of them. But it's kind of like, okay, I said I would do it for a month. It's been a month. I'm out of here. It seems rather callous, right? But it's not. It's very practical. It's very blunt. It's very to the point. And so I feel like there's maybe something to do with this situation that they're trying to keep you there longer. It's like somebody who's been sick, right? And someone's been helping them, and they're ringing the little bell every time they need a sandwich, And they're much better. They've recovered a long time ago, but they like the attention. And so they're kind of feigning the illness a little. They're exaggerating it a little bit to keep you around, right? And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's anybody who's literally sick or injured, or if it's some other kind of emotional need or something else. But I feel like this energy is still kind of pulling you back to it a little bit. The ace, see the ace of pentacles, the ace and the ace. It's time now. I gotta go do stuff. I got errands to run. I got a life to live. I've got things that I need to do. The ace of pentacles up here in the top of the path of the dove. You know that it's time for you to start doing certain things for yourself. You have a path that you need to get on. You've got errands to run. You've got goals. You've got ambitions. You've got achievements that you need to achieve. And I feel as if this was you really being of service to someone or to a group of people or to whatever. Sacrificing of feeding something from your own vital energy, right? And it's kind of now, the energy really between these aces is saying it's time for you to just kind of, it's time for you to clock out of that. And move forward. What are we moving forward into? The Art or Temperance card. You're moving forward into a very balanced energy. But what I see with this is that we're going from all this kind of watery energy, and it splits and it becomes fire here. See? Because that's what the Art or Temperance card is, about the blending of fire and water. And here it kind of feels to me like we're moving out of the water and moving into the fire. Moving into the fire with that earth, fire and earth manifestation. Of course, that's also the Capricorn elemental energy is fire and earth, right? You're the cardinal earth energy. So it really is part of your nature to start doing stuff, to begin the project, to begin the kind of next work for you, the next phase of your path, okay? And I feel like this is really, this is kind of a turning point. You're ready to get back to work. And maybe literally this is work. Maybe this is, taking care of somebody, and this is saying it's time for me to get back to my job, to get back to my career, to get back to my, my life, And so between the Empress and the Temperance card, I feel like we are ready to, and there's a chance here that maybe you were the one that was sick or injured or, something maybe. In that context, it feels like we're ready to get out of this and to get back to work. We want to get back in the kitchen. We want to get back to the pressure cooker of our job, our career. If you're retired, this is kind of getting back to your own responsibilities. Right? You have a lot of pressures on you, but we've been over here. It's kind of, and in a way, it feels like maybe we've been ill or injured by proxy, vicariously kind of through this other person, whatever the exact scenario is. This is the energy that makes me feel like I've been sick for a long time. I've taken a lot of time off work. I spent a lot of time in bed. I want nothing more than to get back to the grind of my work life. I can't wait to get back to the office. That kind of feeling. Okay? I don't know if it's literally a job or an office. It's whatever you do, right? Whatever the pressures are on you in your kind of, in your efforts, in your work life. Now, maybe you're retired, but you still work, right? You still have something that you do. You still have something that you strive for. You still are involved in something. That's what work is. It's not just the job we go to that pays us money. Yeah, that's work too. Work is anything that you kind of, you burn calories doing, okay? Maybe it's the gym. I don't know. Maybe it literally is the kitchen. I don't know. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here. We're going to put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, right there on top. That is Kevin from The Office and Mr. Bates from Downton Abbey. In case anyone was wondering where those names came from, those are two of my favorite shows. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. And also, let me know what you think of this new reading style. I'm going card by card here. I feel like it's keeping me more organized. It's keeping me more on track, And I kind of like it. Let me know what you think. We're going to move to the path of the Serpent now. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. And again, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. All right. First card for the path of the serpent is Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Yeah, you are. You're in a particular energy right now where you are trying to be fair, trying to be a good listener, trying to be a good friend, trying to be a good family member, or whatever it is, right? You're trying to listen, you're trying to be open. You don't want to have any kind of turmoil with anybody. So this is, to me, this is when you sit down and have a conversation. This is kind of saying, look, it's 9 p.m., everybody get the F out of my house. Maybe that's not quite the way right now, you know? The Four of Swords is a little bit more of a conversation than that. It's a little bit more maybe of sitting somebody down and explaining to them, this is what I'm doing and this is why. Now, you're not going to change my mind. I have to be out of here in exactly 5 minutes, but we can have this conversation, right? And I think that this is really important for you because I feel like this isn't usually what you do. Usually it's, hey, everybody has to get out right now. You know, this is kind of saying, hey, 5-minute warning, you know, like last call, right? And this is your general energy right now. And I feel like this is really a smart thing to do, to have the particular conversation. And even if it's just short and very to the point, at least the other person, I think, is going to have a better chance of understanding where you're coming from. If we're literally just ace and ace saying, this is happening right now, everybody has to get out right now, maybe that's creating a little bit too much contention in your life that you don't want. Especially, this is someone we care about, obviously, right? So the Four of Swords, I think, is a very good thing. It's Jupiter in Libra. Okay, Jupiter in Libra. We're trying to kind of expand we're trying to learn patience, ultimately, right? And, you know, Capricorn, you're interesting because you're a very patient person, but no one would know that about you. I think you're very patient, but it's more of an endurance than a patience. I think of patience, somebody has to wait for something. And sitting here waiting, not doing anything, right? That's not the kind of patience that I feel for you. I feel you're more the patient one, where it's like you can sit there and bust your butt, you know, 24/7 and keep going. And you're very patient for the results, but you've got to be doing something. It's not an idleness that we see, right? So with the Four of Swords, I feel that it's kind of like we're learning that other side of patience, where it's just, I'm going to sit down. I'm not going to be rushing off to do the next thing. I'm not going to be ushering people out the door. I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and we can have a quiet conversation, a friendly conversation. I will listen more than I speak, right? And this is something that's going to be very useful for you, okay? It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, especially with that cardinal. I'm a Cancer, solar Cancer, so I'm a cardinal water. Right? Just like you are a cardinal earth sign. So I feel you, where it's hard for me to sit down and not do anything and just have a kind of quiet and friendly, mellow conversation. I feel like I got to be doing something. You know, I'm very patient. Yeah, as long as I'm doing something. You know, as long as I'm you know, patiently working towards something. You know, but to have this kind of almost this idleness is very difficult. It's something that we have to learn. And I don't know if you have kids. My wife and I have got a 4-year-old daughter. I'm having to learn this very quickly. And I think that maybe this situation for you over here on the path of the dove that we've seen has taught you a lot of this patience too. Yeah. Especially when it comes to making this transition back to your life, to your work, to your kitchen, to your pressure cooker. Let's see Now we got a 4. See, now, like I said, with the 5 of Cups, we're trying to stabilize that emotional energy. Okay? There was this whirlwind. There was all this stuff going on, and now we're just trying to kind of settle it out. And so really, with the 4 of Cups in the position of the environment, you're trying to, I feel like, you're trying to show somebody that they're okay on their own. You know, it's kind of whatever is going on here, the 4 of Cups is saying, things are going to be okay if I step away and do my stuff. You know, I don't have to be right here, waiting on everybody hand and foot. I've got my own stuff to do. I got to go run my errands. I got to go do my work. So this is us now trying to settle things down. And so between the 4 of Swords and the 4 of Cups, I feel like you're trying to settle down your own kind of heart and mind too. But really the heart and mind of whatever this other group is, this other person, whoever it is, right? That we're trying to explain things to the other person in a way that they're going to be okay. We're not rushing. We're not being so being so cardinal. You know, we're not being so fiery about it. We're trying to be calm and mellow and say, look, this is what's going to happen, and things are going to be fine. You're fine, and we're making sure somebody else is comfortable, making sure that you're settled. It's kind of like, if somebody's sick or something, it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to go to the store. Do you need anything before I go? Do you want some more water, need some more medicine, want me to turn up the heat, want me to tuck in the blankets or whatever, right? And now I'm going to go. And then you go. And it kind of feels like that. And I don't know if it's really somebody who's ill or injured, or if it's just somebody who is in a very emotional place. I don't know if it's a family member, if it's a spouse or a romantic partner, or if it's a friend, if it's something at work, whatever it is. But it's the emotional thing that's important here. That's what the message really is about. It's about the care, the concern, the compassion, the emotion, the need there, right? The emotional need of this dynamic between the two of you. But you're kind of having this very calm, very stabilizing conversation that's going to make you both feel very comfortable, and we can move forward into 3 of Wands, fiery energy. Now we got some Sun and Aries energy, and fire and earth, right? Like I said, fire and earth. We're that cardinal earth sign, Cap. And this is you now taking that charge, making that, going after your stuff now. This is, you've left the house, you're in the car, you're going off to tackle your responsibilities, and you're not worried about what's happening at home. You're not worried about that other person or about that past situation, because you've done the 4. You've done the 4 of Swords, the 4 of Cups. Things are settled. Everything's fine. This is you now out in the world doing your stuff, focusing on your life, your responsibilities, your work, your goals, whatever, with no reservations. Shout out to Anthony Bourdain. Rest in peace. This is a decision. This is a force. This is a willpower in us that is absolutely certain. It's your will, your heart, and your mind all saying yes. Right? It's not that you're focused on your goals. You're trying to do your work. You're driving to the office or whatever, and you're still thinking, "Gosh, I hope they're okay," and "Oh, maybe I should stay home today." No, because you've got the 4 of. You got the stability in heart and mind, the 4 of Swords and Cups, which allows us to have the 3 of Wands. See, this is your heart and mind and your will and your body and everything committed, saying, yes, I'm off, I'm doing this. I've left the house. I'm not worried about what's going on back there because everything's fine, right? And this is in the position of the difficulty, because you kind of feel as if you cannot move forward with your will, with your work, unless you have this certainty in you that everything's fine, unless your heart and mind are stabilized, so you can have the Trinity, which is the unity, which is that Ace of Wands, that one will, right? I wonder if we're going to get the Ace of Wands next. No, hey, even better, Capricorn energy. That is your superpower card, right? And that's what it's all about. We've got that fire and earth. This is now you getting back to your goals, to your striving, your effort, your creative drive. Yeah, Capricorn energy, devil card. At the end, this is the card that rules the sign of Capricorn. And this is what happens when you've got that unity, when you are not worried about what's going on back there, and you are now free to focus and free to commit. And you know this feeling, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard for you to give all of yourself to what you're doing if you're worried about, oh gosh, how's my mom doing? Are things okay at home? Or, for instance, it's me, like when my daughter, when she first started going to preschool, right? My wife and I would go and we'd drop her off at preschool, and we'd drive a mile away back to our house, right? And I'd be trying to do some tarot readings or do some work on the computer, and part of me is just like, how's she doing? I hope she's okay. How's she feeling? Is she scared? Is she happy? Is she having fun? Is she wondering what's going on? My heart and mind were not stable. I was worried about what was going on there, so I wasn't able to really focus on what I was trying to do here. But then, after that day and few more times after that, and we'd have a conversation, and she says, I'm fine. I like it. The teachers are very nice. I'm comfortable. She's using the bathroom. She's having her snack. She's playing with her friends. She's learning. She likes it. She's happy. She's very comfortable. And that says, oh, okay, now I can have my 4 of Cups and 4 of Swords, and I can focus 100% on what I need to do. And I feel like this is part of that energy. Let's look at that mystery card, though, yeah? I'm so excited we got the Devil card. That is amazing. So where does that leave us here? What does that need to be? Well, I want to see a 9 or a 10 of something. 9 or a 10 of Pentacles, 9 or a 10 of Cups, right? To show that you're in your zone, you're getting your stuff done, or there's this increase of joy and pleasure and happiness for you, for everyone involved, right? Well, let's just see what we have. A King of Wands. Interesting. This is very similar to the Sagittarius reading that I just did. Very weird. And you even have the Sagittarius power card. So if you haven't watched the Sagittarius reading, or if you don't have much Sagittarius placement, there's something with Sagittarius in you right now. Is something's going on. Yeah. But the King of Wands. This is our commitment. This is now this is that fixed fire energy. So not only do you have the cardinal fire energy, which is the cardinal earth energy, which is you're initiating these things, and you're off. You're going to the office now. You've begun all of this, right? You've made this transition back into your essential power and your nature, and you're focused on what you got to do. And not only does that happen, but that is now sustained. That is now something that continues to that fire is burning really, really bright. Okay? So I feel like this is something now that's gonna last for a long time. It's not like this is that one moment, but then you're gonna go home later and it's gonna be the same thing again, and we're gonna go through this whole process. I feel like this is now, everything is aligning for you to keep this going, to keep you focused on your goals. This is a real harmony in life that's allowing you to really sustain your productivity, your efforts, your will, your striving, your creative drive, your ambition, whatever we're talking about here, whatever you're doing, whatever your work is. This is a very good confirmation of that. All right? That this is not something that just happens one time, but this is going to extend for the foreseeable future, and I think you're gonna make a lot of accomplishments in the next few weeks, right? Minimum. Yeah. Very, very good. We're gonna do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top, there's one down below. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, and that's at 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost anything. Leave a comment, let me know where in the world you're watching from. All right. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.